In the morning.
Genesis. Welcome to Genesis Theater.
And welcome once again to Genesis Theater, where biblical stories come to life. I'm Ovaltine Jenkins, your host for this evening. Tonight's program is brought to you by Obedience by Alvin Klein. Keeps you smelling like a rose. Tonight's cast in order of appearance is yours truly as Abraham, Chris as Isaac and the Angel, and Doug over there is the narrator. Let's join tonight's program, which is already in progress.
Now, if you remember from last week, we know that God is the creator of everything. God created Adam and Eve and put them in the Garden of Eden to live. God gave them one rule, and they disobeyed him. Therefore, they had to leave the garden and go out on their own.
Go. Don't you come back no more.
Adam and Eve had two sons, Cain and Abel. Cain was a farmer. Abel, a shepherd. One day, Cain and Abel made offerings to God. God was pleased that Abel brought his most prized sheep as an offering. However, God was not pleased with Cain because he brought a thoughtless and careless offering. It was then that Cain made a choice that would change his life forever.
Two brothers, two choices. What you gonna do?
He killed his brother Abel and was forced to wander the earth in search of a home. This week's story begins with another family. There was a man named Abraham who was married to a woman named Sarah. Abraham and Sarah had a son. His name was Isaac. Isaac was a young boy when God called to Abraham.
Abraham,
God said,
Here I am, Lord.
I want you to take Isaac to a place called Moriah. You are to go to a mountain which I will tell you about and sacrifice him as a burnt offering to me.
Sacrifice him? Are you asking me to put Isaac on the altar to burn as an offering? Kill my only son?
Yes, Abraham, that is exactly what I am asking you to do.
Do what you gonna do? Oh yeah!
Now, remember, this was Abraham's only son, what he valued the most. And this was a very hard thing that God was asking of Abraham.
Offer Isaac. I don't understand. God himself told me of all the great plans he has for Isaac. Isaac is to lead a great nation, and through Isaac, I will have a huge family. There will be more members in my family than there are stars in the sky. Yet now God is asking me to bring my son to him as an offering. I will do what you're asking of me, God, because I love you with all my heart. And I know, though I don't always understand it, you are faithful to your promises.
So, early the next morning,
What are you doing, Father?
I'm getting things ready for the offering I will make to God. This wood I'm cutting will be used for the offering.
Do I get to go with you?
Yes, Isaac, you are coming. Please go and get two of the servants. They will be coming with us too.
Yes, Father.
they set out on their way to Moriah. On the third day of their journey, Abraham saw the mountain in the distance where the sacrifice would take place. He said to his servants,
Isaac and I will go to the mountain to worship. You stay here and watch the donkey. We will be back soon.
What do you want me to do, Father?
You carry the wood, and I will get the knife and the things we need to start the fire.
Abraham and Isaac walked toward the mountain.
Walking, walking, walking to the mountain.
Father?
Yes, Isaac?
We have everything we need to make a offering to God, but where is the lamb for the offering?
God will provide the lamb for the offering.
Yes, Father. How much further?
This is the place. I will build the altar here.
That is beautiful here, Father.
Yes, yes it is, Isaac.
Abraham built the altar on which his son would be placed. When he was finished, Abraham tied Isaac up and gently laid him on the altar. And it was then that Abraham took out the knife which he had brought with him. He raised it over his head. Just as he brought the knife down, an angel from heaven cried out,
Abraham! Abraham!
Here I am.
Don't do it! Don't lay a hand on him!
But God has asked me to offer my son to him.
God now knows that you are willing to sacrifice your only son for him, to give him that which you value the most. Your love for God is great, and you have proven that today. You may untie your son and let him go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So Abraham put down the knife. He then looked over and saw a ram that had gotten tangled in the branches of a bush.
God has provided a ram for the offering.
Abraham then took the ram and used it for his sacrifice to God. He was reminded that God was faithful to his promise.
I will name this place where I am standing, the Lord will provide.
Lord will provide. Oh, yeah.
And to this day it is said, on the mountain of the Lord it will be provided, because of what took place that day. And the angel of God called again to Abraham from heaven and said,
Abraham, because you obeyed God and would have given him your only son, he will bless you with millions of relatives. You will have as many relatives as there are stars in the sky. Your relatives will have the land of their enemies, and through your children, all the nations of the earth will be blessed.
Will Abraham continue to be blessed for his willingness to obey God?
I don't know.
Does he end up having as many relatives as there are stars in the sky?
Maybe so.
What happens to Abraham now?
We don't know.
To learn more about Abraham and how God continued to bless him, turn to the first book of the Bible called Genesis and read it for yourself.
Read it for yourself.
Join us again next time for another exciting story from Genesis Theater. In the meantime, this is Ovaltine Jenkins saying so long, take care, and good